you know, because it's Detroit, but they also follow you and they like your confidence, the way you carry yourself. Now, was Goodz always comfortable in his skin growing up?
Yeah, like what you see with me on stage is pretty much like what you get, like how I've been. I believe that you could be yourself 100%. You can't try to be somebody else and be that 100% because you ain't gonna know how to be that. So everything you see with me, you know, the poise and it's me on a normal day.
Okay. Who are one of the most influential people that you had in your life growing up?
My mom's actually. You know what I'm saying? My mother. My mother raised me and my brother by herself, and that right there, the way she raised me, I kind of was spoiled coming up. So she kind of got me anything I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Then just the way she went about raising us and putting everything into, you know, raising her kids, that was real influential for me. You know what I'm saying? Especially not having a father figure.
Okay.
You know, my mother had to step up and be both, so I was dope.
Now, a lot of us growing up in the inner city, you know, we have barriers or obstacles to overcome at an early age. We all got a story. So for Goodz, which actor would play you in your life story movie and why?
Oh man, let me think.
Put you on the spot.
I got like, yeah, cause I got like 2-3 people in mind. So I would say Mekhi Phife.
Okay.
Because he could bring the kind of roughness and the kind of, you know, I did come up, you know, I was good for a little while, but then I did get into the streets and, you know, and stuff like that. I know as being a teenager, you get into stuff and all that. So I did get into those things, and I think he can bring that part out and make it believable and make it not look like a movie and make you believe the stuff that actually happened. So
okay. That's fair enough. East Coast guy as well, Mekhi Phife. Okay. If you lived in another century, what would you have done for a living?
wow, that's hard. That's very hard to answer, man. If I lived in another century,
Uh-huh.
I need you to be more particular on the question. Like,
Okay.
what time frame?
Okay, good question. Good rebuttal. Explain your battle rapper. Good with rebuttal. So you got me on a rebuttal. So, when I was in the Marine Corps, when I was in the military, the guys from our platoon, we were kind of battling depression on the battlefield. We were trying to take our minds off the battlefield, and we
Right.
used to have campfires at night, and we used to talk about what we would do once we get out the Marine Corps, and it still wasn't good enough. So eventually we started getting to where, what would we be if we lived like 300, 400, 500 years ago? For me, I will always say I'll be like Mansa Musa, because I'm originally African and he was the richest man that ever lived. So I would have been like an emperor. I would have been kind of like managing my investments and so forth.
I think I would have been a king.
Okay.
I think I would have been a king, man. I think I would have been a king. But I would have been a nice king. I wouldn't have been a mean king. So I wouldn't have had, you know, been making people do stuff just to do it. You know, but I think I'd have been a king that set other business opportunities up for other people that didn't have an opportunity.
Okay.
I hope that was a good answer.
No, that's a good answer. That's a very good answer, because, you know, we kind of want our young people to step outside the box, not always focus on just athletics all the time, like focus on like an even bigger, larger picture.
Mm-hmm.
What is Goodz' hidden talent or skill that most people don't know?
That's a good question. I used to play basketball.
Oh, really? Okay.
I used to play basketball when I was younger. I used to rap and play ball, and I was pretty good at ball. I was pretty decent. Like a lot of people that from when I was younger, they know me for playing basketball. So even when they see me now, they don't know me for rap. They know me for playing basketball. So I just stopped growing. So that was kind of it for me. I don't think I was that good to be my size and be able to, you know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
but as far as street ball, I was pretty good. I played in tournaments. I did all that.
Okay. Okay. Um, now, now that was the warm up. Now, that was the small room. Now I'm about to get you on
On the big room,
on the big
big room.
stage.
All right, man, let's go. Let's go.
So, what are your thoughts on the talk? And when I say the talk, I'm talking about talking with our children of color on how to safely handle themselves in police presence.
I think it's all messed up. I think it's messed up. Period. That we got to tell our kids to the things that they're telling them to do. Like as soon as they stop, don't show your hands. Put your hands on the steering wheel. Talk like it's so messed up that we got to there that we have to do that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I'm caught in the middle because it's hard for me to tell my daughter that. You know what I'm saying? I would tell my daughter really just leave it in God's hands. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be all right as long as you believe in God, and that's pretty much what I live by. You know what I'm saying? So it's just hard to hear. You having to tell your kids that, or when some parents tell their kid that, it's just like man, this is messed up.
Yeah, yeah. For me as a dad, I got three little ones. My kids are half Russian, half African. So, they got
Wow.
a real mixed look. And, I tell them something similar, like put your faith in God, because my oldest is 10. She's at the point where she's more color conscious and she knows what's going on in the news. So, at the end of the day, I'm like, handle yourself accordingly, baby girl, but leave your faith in God, because at the end of the day,
Right.
only God can save us.
Right. Right.
Um, what advice, Goodz, would you give a high schooler that wants to make a difference in the country?
Whatever a high schooler or any kid wants to do coming up, I would tell them to stick to it because there's going to be a lot of distractions. So I would explain to them there's going to be a whole bunch of distractions to try to throw you off your focus and what you want to do. The key thing is to stay consistent and stick to it. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Um, how would you respond to outsiders that bring up black on black crime in places like Chicago whenever we start talking about Black Lives Matter?
I repeat the question.
So how would you respond to outsiders that bring up black on black crime going on in Chicago every time that we bring up Black Lives Matter?
I mean, me personally, I don't think nobody should be talking about nothing they don't really know about. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't lived through what we're going through, I don't feel like you should talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's period. And that probably be my whole.
So they got to do their research. They got to know what they're talking about, first of all.
Yeah. For anything, you got to know, and that's that. I mean, I feel like it's gonna be crime anywhere, and I understand when people say, or if somebody says, it's not right that blacks kill black. I can't take that from somebody that's not through it. I can receive that better, but from somebody that's privileged or had to live like that, then you just don't know what you're talking about. So I wouldn't even pay attention to it.
Makes sense. Now to wrap things up, on a lighter note, you know, I haven't been a professional myself, being in the military as a Marine, I could shoot my target for 500 yards out, laying on my stomach. As a battle rapper, you can do things that the average Joe can't, can't step on the stage and do. For me, as far as the military, the changes I would like to see would be special scholarship programs for people of color that's going into military. But for you, what changes would you like to see in battle rap?
I would like to see more judged battles, honestly. Give people, give people at this point, we all got a fan. Don't fight for me. So I feel like some of us get paid more than others. But I feel like if you pay us to walk on the stage and then make it a judge battle and put extra money, like you get an extra fight, people work harder.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
You probably never thought about that, huh?
No, that never did. This is like you're the second guest that I've had since I started this podcast. I'm 26 episodes in, and this second time where a guest brought up something that, you know, went over my head, to use battle rap terminology. The other time I had a African lady, she's a former pro ball player in Kenya, and I was asking her, how can we make basketball more accessible in rural parts of Africa? Should we just donate basketballs and portable basketball hoops? And she was like, no, invest in the welding companies back home in the motherland. They can build basketball hoops from scratch, same quality as America. And she was like, why waste money sending money or sending like supplies, paying for shipping costs, when you can just link up with the welders that can weld these rims? So I was like, oh, so what you was, you know, that's that's
okay.
Yeah,
I like that. I like
that's mindful.
I'm in the same boat with her. That's good, man.
Yeah. One final question, Mr. Goodz. What country would you like to visit when this whole COVID situation, God willing, is over with?
You want to hear something crazy, man? I want to go to Africa.
Okay.
Never been there.
I would recommend my native homeland of Ghana, West Africa. We were known as the Gold Coast.
Ghana.
Yeah, that's the Gold Coast. So we got lots of gold.
And some of the most beautiful women in the world.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Mr. Goodz, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for the words of wisdom with our young people here in Detroit. I'm going to upload the episode, if it's okay with you, on Instagram at Heavy Brand Inc.
No problem.
Salute,
Just let me know when you upload it so I go check it out.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Man. No problem.